Dear angels, archangels, ascended masters, gods, goddesses, and our Creator, as I bow down my head and join my hands in prayer, I pray to Thee that while I recite this prayer in Your devotion and love, not only do You embrace my prayer, but acknowledge the prayers of all who are connected with me throughout this consciousness. I love You. This is Sharmee Divan. Thank you for praying with me.
So beautiful. Beautiful. Let's talk about the prayer. What inspired you?
So, the first time that you asked me to send across a sample prayer, this is the one that I thought about. And actually, the origin of this prayer is from Urdu language.
From Urdu.
Urdu, yes. And I'm going to recite it in Urdu so that, the audience knows about it. And it goes like this. It says, Meri ibadat ko is kadar kabool kar mere malik, ki sajde mein tere main jhukun aur mujhse jude har shakhs ki dua kabool ho. And the literal translation was this prayer. And I had heard this little, prayer from a friend of mine. And every time I recite a prayer before I go to bed, this is my first invocation. This is my first prayer to angels that, as I bow down in Your, love and devotion, that You accept and acknowledge the prayer of everyone who's connected with me. And it is said in our culture for sure that when you pray for someone, God will naturally answer your own prayer. So, I just thought it was a very beautiful concept, not really talked so much about. And I said, why not get it out through angel prayers? So that's my little story.
Thank you. Thank you. And now the power of prayer in your own life. You pray before you go to bed?
Yes.
And then you pray when you wake up?
Well, I wake up just thanking God for another beautiful day. I don't really recite prayers, but I wake up with gratitude every day.
Well, let's talk about your connection with the angels. Let's talk about what that means to you.
So sometimes I laugh about it. I really joke about it because I was not a believer in angels. I thought they were an artist's whimsical fantasy. Yeah. And they just exist in Michelangelo's paintings. That's what I thought about them.
Little ones with the wings.
yeah, exactly. The cute little babies with the wings, yeah. And I didn't know anything about them because I am born and brought up in a Hindu family. And, angels were not really talked so much about as much as ascended masters, really. And my family is a worshipper of Krishna, the ascended master. So I knew a lot about him, but then as I progressed in my spiritual journey, I met with angels, and it was, I'm sure it wasn't a coincidence because we do know that there aren't any coincidences. But in angel messages, they repeat themselves and they repeat themselves and they repeat themselves until you pay attention and you acknowledge that, some higher energy is trying to connect with you for something. And I was not in the best phase of my life back then. So that's 2007. I was a student though, but wasn't so much into spirituality, just a little bit here and there, a little bit of tarot and Reiki, and that's about it. And I was studying, in fact, in America. And
you were at Purdue.
Yes, at Purdue. Yeah, and I'm a Boilermaker. So it just happened. I picked up an Oracle card deck called Magical Mermaids and Dolphins, and there was a picture in that deck that resembled my logo, and I thought that she copied my logo And I've talked about this in my book. It's very funny. And then I realized who she was, and I was like, oh no, I copied her card as my logo. So that's where it all began. Like the next day, I went into the same bookstore and I picked up my first book, which was Angel Therapy, I think, or Angels 101, one of the two. And then back. I mean, till date, although Doreen has moved on, but I still have all of her books and I refer to them, and I did end up writing my own book.
And which is going to be published. Now, we're going to talk more about angel therapy, because that's really that's kind of your piece of it, that where you're making a huge contribution, and your book is going to be about evolving the angel therapy. What is angel therapy?
I personally feel that it is a very simple, easy to follow way to connect with the higher energies. Some people may call them angels, some people may call them ascended masters, some others may have another name for them. At the end of the day, they're nothing but extensions of divine light towards us. And of course, when we talk about angels and angel therapy, the archangels come into being, which if people were to read the book, they will realize my comparisons of what my best understanding is of, like let's say an archangel Michael resembles to in Eastern culture. So I have a comparison of him with Krishna.
Yes.
So I've talked about that, where Archangel Michael has a sword of light and Krishna has what we know as the Sudarshan Chakra, which sits on his index finger.
Mm-hmm.
And he sends that out to cut negativity out. Archangel Michael.
Same function. Wow.
Same understanding of that divine light that is coming towards us in different names and shapes and forms. For us, it's more of the gods and goddesses. For the Western culture, it's more of the angels. And I had read somewhere, I'm not quite sure which book or anything, but angels are not really winged beings anyways. It's just their aura that, kind of extends out like that makes it look like they have wings. So it is the clairvoyance of the artist that made angels look a certain way. They don't really have a shape or a form, and definitely not a gender. Mm-hmm. And I think it is really easy to connect with them. All you have to do is call upon them. I mean, they're listening to us even right now as you and I are having a conversation. And I know that, whatever is even coming out of my mouth is some sort of a guidance coming from heaven, because trust me, I was very nervous for today's Facebook Live. So I started practicing in my head what I'm going to talk about, but I don't think I'm talking what I thought I was going to talk about. So every time I think something and then I just go blank and then it just flows and I talk what is required to be talked. And I also feel that if you keep it simple, sweetheart, it is still just as efficient to practice angel therapy. So I always tell my students and people that I meet who ask me about angels that if you were to practice angel therapy in your day-to-day life, make it as simple and as easy as breathing. So if your breathing is effortless, angel therapy practice should be absolutely just like that. You don't have to think about it. It should just happen. Mm-hmm. It should be that natural. It should be that normal, that easy peasy,
Yes. Well, you have attuned yourself and opened yourself up to hearing and seeing and connecting. What gets in our way? What happens that we feel that's not for me?
It is fears, mainly fears.
Fear, yeah.
False emotions appearing to be real.
Yeah.
And it is what I would call the ego self, you know, like I always give the metaphor of Tom and Jerry, you know, where there's the devil sitting on one side and the angel sitting on the other. They're having a conversation in the person's ear. Human mind is so used to attuning itself into the negative. And I'll tell you one thing, Sherry.
That is
We
so
are
true. Go ahead.
excellent manifestors of everything in our lives. I see so many people who are my clients, my students, people that I meet in day-to-day lives, who will either tell me their life is fabulous and fantastic and it only gets better, and that's exactly what their life looks like. And then I meet all these people who are like, oh, my life is miserable and it's horrible and I feel horrible, and they're only talking negative, 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 negative. And the universe only gives you what you asked for. So it's like, oh, can my day get any worse? Oh yes, it will get.
Can it get any worse? Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Murphy's law is going to be there.
Now, Sharmee, then what happens is that with angel therapy, it helps to break that pattern of thought, doesn't it? You know, let's talk about that piece of it.
So with angels, I always again say that they are like the airbags in a car. So if you were to travel a long journey called life, you might as well have your airbags in place. Otherwise, you're in trouble. You know? So, you know, I'm not saying that it's going to be just a joy ride and everything is going to look all rosy with your rose tinted glasses on. No, no, no. But because you have the airbags called angels, it's going to stop the extreme impact that life or karma might throw at you.
Yes.
So when we work with angels, it's very harmonious and it's very positive, and it keeps you moving in a more positive direction where you feel hope, you know, that there is hope at the end of the tunnel. There's light at the end of the tunnel. And, you know, because I have my angels by my side, that everything is going to be okay. This is just a phase. This too shall pass. And I think that that's what makes it such a beautiful modality to practice and also to teach, because the more you talk about them, the more they connect with you. The more they connect with you, the more you end up talking about them. I mean, how the hell am I here? You know?
How are you here?
There's no coincidence. It's what I truly believe in and what I 100% practice every single day in my life. And you don't really need a card deck, and you don't really need any special powers to connect with angels. That's what people feel. Yes, sure, I am a little more fine-tuned than, you know, some people, but it's not that difficult. You know, if I give you the frequency that you need to tune into, you're going to be able to tune into the frequency of that radio station, right?
Yes, yes.
It's the same thing. And I was watching We Are Human Angels, and you know, they're my favorite. I love them. I love them too. Seeing them in person. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you know, they were talking about, you know, we are human angels, and how do you know that you are human angels? And I have always used the term light worker, perhaps because of Doreen. You know, that it's just so natural for us to do good things in life and to do good to other people. It takes so much more effort to do bad than it takes for you to do good. So at the end of the day, everyone is a light worker. They just need to recognize that little light sparkling inside of them. And I truly believe that angels bring that light out in everyone.
I agree. Now, Sharmee, back to you, because I really want to talk about your angel therapy online course. Okay. How do we get it?
Well, I'm going to have mini courses coming up on Zoom, the app that we're using at the moment. And I am lined up for a course in June, at the end of June. So the last weekend of June.
Last weekend of June. Okay.
angel therapy course coming up, but it's not going to be like a full life course. It's just going to be a teaser course that people get an idea of and decide if they want to come for the main workshop. I also have the book coming up, so that will kind of tag along with the Zoom workshops. And I also teach live workshops, and I'm willing to travel anywhere in the world to teach angel therapy.
Absolutely. I mean, why not? I mean, now everyone, don't forget, it's SharmeeDivan.com. It's very, very simple to find this incredibly beautiful person. SharmeeDivan.com, and also your Facebook page is the same. Sharmee Divan.
For more free angel prayers, simply enable My Angel Prayer on your Alexa. If you don't have an Alexa device, no worries. You can go to MyAngelPrayer.com for easy peasy directions on uploading Alexa and My Angel Prayer onto your smartphone. My Angel Prayer. It takes less than a minute to shift your entire day.